Mexico and the U.S. water situation. Properties of water. Water is a polar molecule as it has positive hydrogen bonds and a negative oxygen bond. Water is a very effective solvent as it's able to dissolve almost anything except for a few oils, fatty acids, and nonpolar molecules. Water also has a very high heat capacity as it takes longer to warm up, unlike most surfaces. Water vapor is also used to cool off humans and animals that can produce sweat as it releases heat from us, and you can kind of see steam in certain lighting conditions from people after like a workout. Water also has high surface tension. It can stick to almost any surface. Water has three forms, either as a solid, liquid, or gas. The importance of water in sustaining life and what is the role in water in natural and human-made environments. In life, water is needed to transport things in animals and plants. It helps regulate the temperature of organisms that use water, and water also helps keeps the cells hydrated. In natural and human-made ones, water is needed to keep ecosystems and populations alive. Water in man-made environments is used to provide nourishment and ways for people to bathe, wash clothes. The scarcity of clean water in the U.S. The Colorado River and Lake Mead in Arizona might dry out soon in a few years. And due to this, the southeastern states may also face something similar to a drought in the later future. Scarcity of clean water in Mexico. Around 50% of the people in Mexico face a water scarcity. This is mainly the rural parts and not the cities. More like the urban countryside than the more urban, more developed areas of Mexico. Improper sanitation effects on hygiene of citizens in the U.S. The lack of water can affect people since they have no ways to properly clean themselves. They can have poor hygiene, start to get diseases from not being able to drink enough water. They can, and like the homeless population, you can kind of see this since they don't have a lot of access to clean water, like showers. They might gain like certain diseases since they can't wash like hard to reach areas, or they might suffer from dehydration since they're not drinking enough clean water since they can't either afford to buy a bottle or can't go inside a place to drink from a water fountain because the place doesn't allow homeless people. And they're not as clean as any like a normal person who lives in a house because they can't wash and now they smell that can build up, and without washing over time you might be able to contract something from that. Improper sanitation and effects on hygiene of citizens in Mexico. It's more like the same as the US. It's like cleanliness, dirty environments. With clean water, though, you can solve a lot of these issues for the citizens, especially in like more rural areas, since they don't have a lot of access to clean water and have to rely on other ways to get clean. One disease or condition caused by unsafe or dirty water in the U.S. Hepatitis A is a liver infection that can be caused by unsafe food or drinks. If water is unclean, this can cause a person to be infected with it, and their liver can get infected and cause some major complications later on if not treated. One disease/condition caused by dirty and unsafe water in Mexico. Diarrhea can be caused by drinking contaminated water in Mexico as well. This is just like the normal diarrhea you can get from anywhere else, like loose stool, cramps, and nausea. It's caused by like maybe you got water from a well and it's not filtered properly, or it's not boiled to get all the germs and bacteria out of it. Potential effects of dirty, unsafe water in the U.S. With lack of unsafe water, it can cause problems with the nervous system, reproductive system, intestines, and extreme cases, cancer if it's poisoned with like maybe a metal or something like lead or maybe runoff from a farm. Potential effects of dirty, unsafe water in Mexico. Cholera is caused by unclean water in Mexico, and it's a very extreme case and very rare case of diarrhea. This can be caused by outbreaks in poor communities since they don't have enough filtrations in their water systems, and that can cause them to have an outbreak of cholera and it causes it to spread since it's very infectious as well. Methods available to bring clean, safe water to a developing community in the U.S. Changing the water pipes in the U.S. from lead to a more safe, suitable substance can be a lot better, improve conditions. As we can tell with Flint, Michigan, their lead pipes have absolutely almost destroyed their water until like recently they almost like got replaced. But another downside for this would be like it would shut down the local economy because if you want to change all the pipes at once, you have to shut down the whole town's water supply, and that could hurt the economy in that local town and cause a lot of unemployment, even possibly homelessness with that. And another issue with trying to do this is trying to find a material strong as lead and as a cheap and available as it, since a material like that is hard to come by. That's cheap and relatively easy to put in to replace lead pipes. Methods available to bring clean and safe water to Mexico. Adding wells to communities can help bring clean water. Bringing aquifers or even bottle trucks from the government, bringing in to help the civilians out, can help bring better clean water to the people. But a lot of the times, government funding to do this is an issue. Most of the times, they don't have enough money and it's relied on like maybe third party people or philanthropists to donate water to those said communities who need water. Current and possible future water policies in the United States. The National Primary Drinking Water Regulations regulate how treatment facilities are operated and make sure everything is up to standard and up to code and make sure the water is safe level for people. The Safe Drinking Water Act is in place to ensure healthy drinking water for everybody and to make sure that water is up to standard for people to consume. Current and possible future water policies in Mexico. The Mexican Water Commission adopted the Blue Water Blueprint policy, which helps the water use in the country and helps people determine, or the government to determine, how much water the people are using and where this water is needed and where water is not needed as much. Impacts of climate on the water supply in the U.S. Frequent amounts of rain can overflow into reservoirs and it can cause runoffs from nearby farms and pollute the water with the manure. Lack of rain in places like California, Nevada, cause droughts and cause the ground to dry up. With no rain coming in and lack of water for the reservoirs to keep the plants hydrated, wildfires can break out and cause problems for the environment even more. Impacts of the climate in Mexico. Low rainfall in Mexico has caused some shortages of water. Climate change has also affected the country as the dry spells become unpredictable and more frequent. Droughts, and there are more droughts because of them, and possibly even wildfires because no water to hydrate the plants. Effects of human activities on the water supply in the U.S. Farms are a big factor of this, and so are factories. Farms can cause runoffs, infect the water with manure, make people sick with certain animal borne diseases. And factories contribute this by dumping chemicals into the water if they're not regulated or checked on. And they also produce smog, which gets into the atmosphere and the clouds, and it causes chemical rains or acid rains to go into the environment, causing more damage. Effects of human activities on the water supply in Mexico. Same thing, but more in rural areas. It's more farming that causes pollution, instead of less factories. You find that more in the city, more densely populated areas, as well as sewage that gets dumped into the water is not properly filtered to go back into it. Current freshwater resources in the U.S. Like Utah and the Colorado River supply freshwater to the drought states like California, Utah, and Colorado. These are the major freshwater resources for the more midwestern side of the country. Current freshwater resources in Mexico. Magdalena River and the Tlampatala River supply freshwater for Mexico and Mexico City as a whole. These are two of the main major water resources in the country.